Shabbat Shalom, friends. I'm delighted that you all could be here tonight to celebrate Shabbat with us. One of the minor themes that crops up during Shabbat is recognizing Shabbat is like a bride coming to meet the bridegroom. And I think a great way to invoke some of that, at least for now, and you'll see some more of that later on, is found on page 129 of our Sidurim. And if you're not as familiar with the Sidurim, these open, as I like to say, the right way. You'll find Eila Chamda Libi on the bottom of the page. Eila Chamda Libi Husana ve'ana tit'Allah 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 Eila Chamda Libi Husana ve'ana tit'Allah.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody, and welcome. I'm Rabbi Javier Carapan, and I'm joined this evening by Cantor Lawrence, Maestro Phil at the piano, and Kyle. Welcome back, Kyle, to our streaming console, and also by all of you who have decided to spend. It's still, it used to be a beautiful, every evening in, Friday evening in Grand Rapids used to be beautiful. It is getting to be that way again.
It's a beautiful neighborhood day in the Neighborhood.
It's very nice. Special thank you to Kat, Mike, and David for all their care and attention to the many details that you may not see, but make this evening possible. When appropriate, we will ask you to rise in body or in spirit as you're able, even if you do not hear us announce it each and every time. And to help us stay present this evening, we invite everybody to take a moment to check your electronic devices, make sure that they are in silent or airplane mode, although we're not going anywhere. Or just power them down. You'll feel better. There's no risk of them going off if they're off. This evening we gather simply and wholeheartedly for Shabbat, and we're going to have a Torah service. It's the first Friday of the month. And it will be an opportunity to listen again for the wisdom of our tradition and to locate ourselves within its unfolding story. Week by week, Torah invites us into reflection, into question, into a deeper encounter with who we are and what we wish to become. Shabbat arrives as a gentle invitation to pause and to breathe and to remember who we are beneath the noise and the urgency of the world. It creates space for rest, for connection, and for the quiet work of the soul. Many of us come into this space carrying the weight of the week behind. So tonight we invite you to set some of that down, not because it disappears, but because we deserve a moment of holiness alongside it. A moment to be present and a moment to be renewed. As a sacred community, we gather not only in prayer, but in relationship with one another, with our tradition and with the possibility of hope. So let us gently make room for this sacred time. What has been is behind us, and what matters now is the gift of being here together with openness, presence, and the possibility of renewal. Again, Shabbat Shalom and welcome, everybody.
May I add something small?
Please.
Because I'm noticing some people who are comparatively small. So, all right, I'm so glad that we have some kids who decided to bring their parents here tonight. Thank you very much, kids, for making sure your parents were here. So this message is not for the kids, this is for your parents, because this is important. Now, I know, parents, it can be hard to sit still sometimes, and you want to get up and run around for a bit because it's tempting. So in those moments, kids, you can take your parents to the Gan Katan room, and there we have a live stream already of the service set up. You can be there, play around, play with toys, and you kids can keep watching the service. So if you need to, now you know where to go.
Thank you. We continue on page 121 in the middle of the page. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. Page 120, I would like to invite Tracy and Diane to join us on the bima and light the candles and welcome Shabbat.
And one more. And Miriam. Thank you. Oh my. Delightful. Nope, nothing's broken as of right now. Don't worry. I got you. Of course.
Is there an English part we want to read?
No, go ahead and enjoy it. Say the brachot, please, when the time comes.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu v'mitzvotav v'tzivanu v'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Thank you for honoring us tonight. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for honoring us tonight. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
Thank
Shalom.
you. Shabbat Shalom. Truly an honor.
We continue welcoming Shabbat together on page 131, words from Psalm 96, Shiru Ladonai.
Shiru Ladonai, Shir Hadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Barech Shemo, Basru Miyom Leon, Yeshuato, Shiru Ladonai, Shir Hadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Barech Shemo, Basru Miyom Leon, Yeshuato, Shiru Ladonai, Shir Hadash, Shiru Ladonai, Shir Hadash, Shiru Ladonai, Shir Hadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Barech Shemo, Basru Miyom Leon, Yeshuato, Shiru Ladonai, Shir Hadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Barech Shemo, Basru Miyom Leon, Yeshuato, Shiru Ladonai, Shir Hadash, Shiru Ladonai, Shir Hadash, Shiru Ladonai, Shir Hadash, Shiru Ladonai, Shir Hadash.
We continue on page 138. We will be singing together stanzas 1, 2, 5, and 9.
Lekhat oti likrat Allah ben
bella, Shamul v'Sachot v'Dibur Echad, Ishmi'anu El HaMiyuchad, Adonai Echad, U'Shmo Echad, L'Shem u'Tiferet v'Litila, L'Chadoti Likrat Kala, V'nei Shabbat Nekam Bela, Likrat Shabbat Lechuva Nilcha, Ki Mekol HaMeracho, Meirush Mikedem Nesucha, Sof Ma'aseh B'Machshavat Echila, Echadoti Likrat Kala, V'nei Shabbat Nekam Bela, Itorevi, Ki va'orich u'mi'ori, Ori shir taviri, Kevot Adonai, alayich niglo, Echadoti likrat kala, V'nei Shabbat nekam bela. Tohim shalom ateret malam, Om simcha u'v'tzora, Toch emunei am singular, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור, עלי נבל, עלי גיון בחינוך. משמושית ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון.
We continue together on page 263, 263.
And while you're turning those pages, a brief reminder that we have started here to rise to the words Tushbachata v'nechamata, found near the bottom of the Aramaic. And if you have a moment of, I don't know where that is, don't worry, we got you. Yitgadal v'kra shemeh rabha, be'aman tifrach v'rutet v'yamich mochotech, b'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chaye lechol et Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, uv'izman karif eimvu, amen. Yes.
שמך רבה מברך, לעולם ועולמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדל ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמך בקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה. תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמה, ואמרו אמן. היי 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 Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Ay, 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 ay,
We continue together on page 265 in the middle of the page. Adonai, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. Help us to be co-workers with you, and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Baruch Ata Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim.
Avat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ata Torah mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta Al ken Adonai Eloheinu v'shofenu v'kumeinu tasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נחכה יומם ולילה יומם ולילה ואהבתך תסר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו Adonai Echad. Adonai Elohecha, b'chol lefavecha, uv'chol nafshecha, uv'chol meotecha, v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi mitzavcha, hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibartam, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, uv'lechtecha v'anterech, uv'shochbecha, uv'kumecha, ukfartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot bein einecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uv'isharecha, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים לחיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם Adonai Elohechem, Amen.
We continue together in the middle of page 269. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all, yet that oneness eludes our grasp as imperfection and evil abound. Before our eyes there is a vision of perfection, order, and goodness. There is evil enough to break the heart, and there is good enough to exalt the soul. When will redemption come? When we grant everyone what we claim for ourselves? Long ago we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High. We learned God's presence redeems time and event, so we celebrate this power that makes for freedom.
V'kamo ha'ba'elim Adonai, v'kamo ha'nedar b'kodesh, Torah te'ilot osefele, Torah te'ilot osefele, v'kamo ha'ba'elim Adonai, v'kamo ha'nedar b'kodesh, Torah te'ilot osefele, Torah te'ilot osefele, malchutecha ra'uvanecha, Hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Ze'eli'anu ve'amru, Ze'eli'anu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, V'kamo ha'ba'elim Adonai, V'kamo ha'nedar b'kodesh, Torah te'ilot osefele, Torah te'ilot osefele. V'ne'emar kifata Adonai et Yaakov, ugalo miyad chazak mimenu, baruch atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael.
Page 271, but also the words are in the program if you need them.
Hashkifenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamitenu shomreinu l'chaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamitenu shomreinu l'chaim. Say us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkifeinu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, ve'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hashkifeinu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, ve'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. לשמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. לשמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. לשמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים, כי ששת ימים, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביום השביעי שבת וילפוש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We invite you to rise as you are able on page 273 for the Amidah, the standing prayer.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufia hitei latecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah. Ha'il ha'gadol ha'gibor ve'hanoah, El Elyon, kol mel chasadim tovim, ve'konei hakol, וזוכר חסדי אבות באמהות, ומביא גאולה לפני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה כל אתה רב להושיע. מורין הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני אחת. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומיתו מלך, מלך ממיתו מחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Please continue privately.
רצון, אמרפי, והגיון ליבי לפניך. יחיו לרצון, אמרפי, והגיון ליבי לפניך. Adonai tzori, Adonai tzori, Adonai tzori, vengo ali. Adonai tzori, Adonai tzori, Adonai tzori, vengo
we mentioned at the beginning of the service, this evening we include a Torah service, and that begins on page 364 And if you're able, we invite you to stand with us in body or spirit. I don't know if we told you, but we have a new Torah mantle here to cover the Torah just before we read it or after we read it. We used to use the Torah cover. And I was told that what happened is that when they were making the new Torah covers, there was a failed attempt. But it looked good as a cover. So we kept it as a mantle. And we had a new one, so, you know.
Hardly a failure.
No, it looks beautiful. I don't know what the failure was. It looks fine to me. And so it wasn't the right thing, so. But nothing should go to waste. And so we have a beautiful new cover, so. And this time we remembered to bring it and put it underneath here. We had it before, but it was in my study, so I forgot to bring it out, so. It happens. I think many of us have felt many moments in our lives when gratitude seems to come relatively easily. A good meal, for some of us, a wonderful opera performance. Perhaps a piece of news we've been hoping for. There is a difference, though, between saying thank you and feeling grateful. I think It's not a bad thing. You know, your parents, my mom taught me to say thank you always. You know, not a bad thing. But there's a big difference, I think, between saying that and actually having this feeling of gratitude in our hearts. And experiencing gratitude is something many of us have to work through. The Torah, indeed our tradition, calls us to live a life of gratitude. And yet, in the society in which we live in, a society of abundance and countless choices, living with a sense of deep gratitude often evades us. What would it mean, then, for gratitude to last longer than a moment? This week's Torah portion, Parashat Emor, which simply means say, and there are a lot of things that Moses is supposed to say to the people, many of them disconnected from each other, so I'm not going to try to connect them all in one Dvar Torah, because you want to get out of here in reasonable time. But this Torah portion, in a piece of it that we're going to be reading together, offers a possible answer. It weaves together two seemingly different mitzvot. One is the mitzvah of bringing an offering, and the other one is the one that we're taught to leave a part of the field unharvested. At first glance, they don't quite belong together, and I do think that they are expressions of something very similar. When the Torah speaks about the beginning of the harvest, it says, quote, "When you come into the land that I will give you and you reap its harvest, you shall bring the first sheaf of your harvest to the priest." There is something deeply intentional here. This offering is an expression of gratitude, and is not left as a feeling alone, but given a form, brought forward, made visible by this offering that in ancient Israel people had to bring to the priest at the temple. Because gratitude, turns out, is not sustained by a single moment of awareness, it is sustained by intention, by returning again and again to the simple act of noticing this moment matters, and what I have been given is not automatic. So we feel that sense of gratitude. But as you already know, Judaism is not only about our individual needs and experiences, as important as they might be. It is often the case that the Torah, in the middle of talking about what an individual should do, it shifts from inner awareness to a very physical ground, to those around us, to the other. And here is where I think, a well-known mitzvah that we find in this week's parasha appears. When you reap the harvest of your land, you shall not reap all the way to the edges of your field. You shall leave them for the poor and the stranger. You've heard this one before, probably more than once. The turn is not only from our inner sense of gratitude and the offering that comes out of that, but this moment we move from something internal to something embodied, to something that touches others, or could touch others. I am not sure if this is exactly what the Torah intended, but these two mitzvot, bringing an offering to God and leaving the edges of your fields and harvests, one could say it's an offering for others, are here to show us that the way to connect our sense of gratitude with our obligations to take care of those around us who are in need is really what is at play. In other words, if gratitude lives only in our awareness, it risks remaining private, something felt but not necessarily shared. Our tradition always pushes us to go outside ourselves, outside our comfort zone. It asks, what does gratitude look like when it takes up space? What does gratitude look like when it takes up space? And the answer is both simple and demanding. Not everything you have is yours to keep. We should not say, oh great, I have a lot and I am grateful. End of story. When we are truly grateful, we do not harvest the entire field. We are taught to leave the edges. We create space, real, tangible space, where someone else can enter, gather, and find sustenance. So perhaps in this way, the Torah redefines gratitude. It is not just a feeling that rises in us when we feel like life is good. It is a way of structuring our life. We come to see what we have differently. We use our resources differently. We shape our lives with edges, places where others are already considered, already included. And I know most of us are not farmers, really. Maybe some of you are, and I'm mistaken, but don't look like farmers here. We may not have fields to harvest, but we do have lives that can easily become over-harvested. It is not all about our financial resources either. This is not where it's going, although your donations are always welcome. But we are grateful for all of those financial resources, for sure. But sometimes it is about schedules that leave no room. Overscheduling our lives is a real thing. Other times it is about resources that feel entirely spoken for. No, not everything in life is a zero-sum game. Sharing and caring for others does not diminish us in any way. On the contrary, it may enrich us all. The mitzvah to leave the corners of the field invites us to ask, where are the edges of my life? Where do I leave time, not just for productivity, but for presence? Where do I leave space for someone who might otherwise be overlooked? Where do I resist the urge to take everything for myself? The Torah offers a vision that is both gentle and demanding. Gratitude is not complete when we feel it. It becomes complete when it reshapes the way we live, when it creates space, when it leaves something behind for someone else. So perhaps the question we carry with us is not only, what am I grateful for, but also, what does my gratitude make room for? Because in a world that so often teaches us to gather more and to hold it tightly, Torah teaches us something quieter and maybe more enduring. That a grateful life is not measured by how much we have taken in, but by how much space we're willing to leave open. Have a Shabbat Shalom, everybody. We will be reading the section from the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verses 15 to 22. You have those verses on page number 3, and you can read through and confirm what I told you, that every line is about something different.
And you can correct my Hebrew if necessary.
Would like to invite Janice Fonger to have the Aliyah. Ya ta'amod. Oh, you want to do it?
Ta'amod, lalea, ta'amod. Hashem Shemech.
What's your Hebrew name?
Janice Fonger, la'aliyah, stam.
We have a microphone.
If you want to know where we are, we're in the Torah.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Mevorach.
Baruch Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed, Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, V'natan lanu et Torato, Baruch Atah Adonai, Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Hold, please. Thank you.
וספרתם לכם ממחרת השבת, מיום הביאכם את עומר התנופה, 7 שבתות תמימות תחיינה. עד ממחרת השבת השביעית תספרו 50 יום, והקרבתם מנחה חדשה לאדוני, ממושבותיכם תביאו לחם תנופה, 2 עשרונים, סולת תחיינה, 5 תאפנה, ביקורים לאדוני. והקרבתם על הלחם 7 כבשים תמימים בני שנה, ופר בן בקר 1 ואלים 2, יהיו עולה לאדוני, ומנחתם ונזקיהם אישי ריח ניחוח לאדוני. ועשיתם שעיר עזים 1 לחטאת, ו2 כבשים בני שנה לזבח של עמים. והניף הכהן אותם על לחם הביקורים התנופה לפני אדוני, על 2 כבשים, קודש יהיו לאדוני לכהן. וקראתם בעצם היום הזה, מקרא קודש יהיה לכם, כל מלאכת עבודה לא תעשו, חוקת עולם בכל מושבותיכם לדורותיכם, ובקוצרכם את קציר ארצכם, לא תכלה פאת שדך בקוצרך, ולקט קצירך לא תלקט, לעני ולגר תעזוב אותם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chaye olam neta betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Very nicely done. Thank you. And a happy birthday. Oh, come here.
As we gather on this Shabbat in the presence of our Torah scroll, we turn now to those in need of healing of mind, body, and spirit. And as a congregation, we offer these names: Jeannie Friedland, Connor Bram, Marsha Margolis, Mary Lou Gray, Carrie Fleischer, Judy Subar, Stefan Ryder, Steve Smeagol, Bruce Roller, Debbie Dennis, Jillian Gatesy, Ron Zagel, Shoshana Yankers, Jan Ginsberg, Mindy Khan, Yakova Itai, Phil Pletcher, Aaron Turner, Charlie Goldfarb, Caroline Zohat, Michael Schwartz, Honorio Valdez Murua, Eric Sachs, Tom Briscoe, Marcelo Altamirano, Lori Erling, Sandy Laird, Jack Luber, Steve Davis, Penny Wenninger, Larry Lutwick. As we go around our sanctuary, those of you here in person, I invite you to share other names as I point in your direction. Anybody? We think of all those in need of healing. The words for the Misheberach could be found on page 371. May the one who blessed our ancestors bring blessings of strength, compassion, and healing to those of us who struggle with the oppression of addiction, emotional distress, and mental suffering. Surround them with loving kindness, grace, companionship, and peace. This moment of asking, praying for healing, we add a prayer for refugees and migrants. Eloheinu ve'Eloi avoteinu ve'imoteinu, God of our ancestors, our God, help all who flee persecution as once you did with our people in Egypt. Teach us to show chesed, loving kindness and compassion to those in misery and captivity, to those who cross seas and deserts seeking freedom. We too once ate the bread of affliction. Inspire us, Adonai, to be Rodfei Tzedek, pursuers of justice, for all who long for the liberties we cherish today. And together we say, Amen.
Amen.
Service continues on page 370. As you're able, in body or spirit, we invite you to rise for Vezot HaTorah. Thank you. Got it. More. There we go. There you go.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל. כי אדוני ביד משה.
Page 374.
It's Chaim he, the Machazikim Bach, Ve'tomcheha, Ve'ushal, Shah
invite you to turn to page 570.
So I don't know if you noticed during the Torah reading, but there should have been maybe a word that sounded familiar, which was Omer. Exactly. That offering that Rabbi was talking about, that gratitude offering, is an Omer of wheat. So not only is this act of gratitude one that is happening with intention, but it's happening with incredible regularity. Now, as you've seen before, you know that we have a week's worth of weeks. We have 49 days that we count off during the Omer. Now, some ancestors of ours said, well, hold on a second, we got 7. You know, if we look at the Sephriata tree, if we look at these 10 attributes maybe of God, we got 3 on the top, okay, fine, but hey, how many are down below? 7. What if we take each attribute for a week, and then each day of that week with another one of those attributes as well, mix and match, and you get some interesting thought processes that can come out of this. And we are going to be entering into day number 30, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Double checking my math. Yep. We're entering into day 30. So that's week 4, day 2, which means that we're going to have, so week 4 is Netzach, which is the quality of endurance and really persevering throughout with really a sense of drive to it. While we're talking really the third one, so actually this would be Tiferet. So what does it mean? Tiferet in this case can mean balance or beauty. So what can it mean to be thinking about this quality of balance or beauty inside of the concept of perseverance and prevailing? And I think it kind of aligns actually with what you were talking about earlier, which is finding that, well, the overscheduling is something that can happen to all of us. That the wanting to do so much, well, you got to make sure that you leave a little bit extra for not just yourself, but everybody else around you to take that time in as well. And I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are, what they can be for each day of the Omer.
הנני מוכן ומזומן לקיים מצוות עשה של ספירת האומר.
We are ready to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו על ספירת האומר.
God, you told us, you commanded us to count the Omer.
היום 30 יום שהם 4 שבועות ושני ימים לעומר.
So today is day 30 of the Omer, which means 4 weeks, 2 days.
Thank you. We continue together on page 586. We invite you to rise in body or spirit for Aleinu L'Shabeach, and the second words of the prayer are on page 591.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגוי עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יחיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
reach our moment of remembrance, we think of our loved ones who have departed this earth, our own loved ones and those whom our neighbors and friends have lost. As a congregation, we are observing the Shloshim period for Dan Goodman, father-in-law of Judy Goodman, and Marcia Friedman, mother of Simon and David Hutchins, grandmother of Tim, Katie Cohen, Daniel Hutchins, and Robin Link, and great-grandmother of Ari and Logan Cohen. And on this Shabbat, we remember the following yortzeit of members of our congregation: Barbara Edelman, wife of Gary Edelman, mother of Greg Lefster and Ryan Lefster; Marjorie Albert, mother-in-law of Linda Albert; Marvin Hammerman, husband of Diane Hammerman and father of Tracy Krenka and grandfather of Miriam; James Hammond, father of Dennis Hammond; Vivian Johns, mother of Eric Johns; Walter Johnson, father of Diane Kulik; Anna Kristoff, grandmother of Joel Kristoff; Richard Newman, brother of Judith Newman; Louis J. Simons, father of Diane Hammerman and grandfather of Tracy Krenka and great-grandfather of Miriam; Frederick Storim, husband of Harriet Storim; Ida Victorson, a member of our congregation. If you're joining us on this Shabbat and remembering a loved one we have not mentioned, would like to share a name. Thank you. Zichronam Livracha, may the memories be for a blessing. On page 598, I invite you to rise in body or spirit as one for Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה,
אמן.
בעלמה דברה חירותה וימליך מלכותה, בחייכון ובימיכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה בריחו, לאלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דע אמירם בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. You may be seated.
Ose shalom, shalom imromav, voyase shalom, shalom aleinu. Ose shalom, shalom imromav, voyase shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshevei tevel, ve'imru
A few thank yous and announcements. Thank you to Cantor Lawrence and Maestro Phil for the lovely music, and thanks to Kyle for making everybody heard and seen. This is an announcement behind the scenes you don't know, but very soon our AV system, which I understand is now fully installed, will be fully operational when everybody gets to be trained. So I'm excited. We're going to have the new cameras. And don't stay home to watch it afterwards.
Don't jinx it.
And we have our screens, new screens above us. You know, we'll find a way to use them creatively and kind of unobstructively, but don't quote me on that one. We'll see.
I have dreams.
Inadvertently, we left out thank yous to our Onyx sponsors. Sorry for that, but thank you, Tracy and Diane and Miriam, for putting together our Onyx in memory of your loved ones. We have some announcements on the last page, number 4. We have our class tomorrow. We are continuing studying the Middle Ages. And if you've never heard about the Visigoths, come learn about them. They're an interesting bunch. That's
Yes,
all I have to say.
they are.
The Visigoths. Not a nice bunch, but an interesting bunch.
Yeah.
Lakava Omer is coming up. We're talking about the Omer. And the counting of the Omer, among other things, is also a period of semi-mourning. And we can tell you more about that. But on the 33rd day of the Omer, it's a celebration. So we will be in the parking lot.
And if you want to see me with goodness gracious great balls of fire, you should come.
I've been waiting for this for almost 2 years. So, and that's not the only reason, but it's the main reason why it will be in the parking lot.
You'll get a chance to see your cantor doing circus arts.
We have our Geniza burial. It's coming up on May 17th. Yes, it's going to happen. We've been promising this, I think, for a few years. But it's going to happen 1 p.m. at Oak Hill Cemetery. We need help with bringing things there. You can also bring some of your things if you have things with the name of God, the explicit name of God in it that we can bury. Please join us. It will be, I don't know if a once in a lifetime, but a once in a blue moon kind of opportunity to participate in the ritual burial of sacred books.
Well put.
And then, if that's not enough, May is full of things. Shavuot is coming up, and our confirmation service is May 22nd. We have a wonderful class, and hope you all join us for that. It will include a Torah service. The confirmation class is speaking and reading Torah and all that, so it'll be fun. And a very special onek too. We invite you to join us in our social hall for Kiddush and Amotzi after the service, and before that, we invite you to rise in body or spirit as you're able on page number 2 as we offer a prayer for peace. And then we sing Et Chaim at the very end. Tree of Life has English and Eternal source and soul of peace, send your peace into the heart of Am Yisrael, your people. Let it heal our divisions and soften the bitterness of intolerance. Let it dissolve distrust, isolation, and rivalry. May your peace inspire solidarity and renew our sense of shared purpose, uniting us as one people. Let peace grow and increase until it fills the earth. Let there be no hatred or jealousy, no victories that bring sorrow or loss to people or nations. Only love and peace, steadfast, deep, and true. We yearn for love that binds us together, for the wisdom that comes through community, shared understanding, compassion, and trust. May the words we speak and the meditations of our hearts open pathways of truth, empathy, and peace.
It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it. All its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it. All of its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. Shalom, shalom. It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it. All of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it. All of its supporters are happy. Shalom, shalom. It is a tree. Shalom, shalom. It's not a branch. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. See you in the social hall for Kiddush and Hamotzi.